Morning. It's nice and early. Trying out some better audio settings. Tried yesterday. See if it helps today. Try not to spend any money. The morning rush onto the Air Force Base. So I typically try to tune out Donald Trump directly and mostly just shake my head. I don't know if anybody remembered his first presidency, but it was like an anxiety-filled, just like crapshoot every single day. And I was like very like not excited when he ran, when he was going into a second term, or trying to go into a second term. I was like, oh. And then when he ran again, I was like, oh man, this is just problematic. And he's done and said a lot of things that I'm like are abhorrent and reprehensible and out of touch. But I mean, him putting himself in as Jesus and the Pope, and is he kind of in that lane of like Kanye, where he really thinks he is the chosen one? Like deep down, he's like, yeah, I'm him. Because he has made some wild choices recently. And he, a lot of politicians pretend to be family people and Christians and so on and so on. And I don't have a problem if you're not a Christian. But I think I do have a problem with people who cheat on their spouses and try to be in public office. I think we should hold our politicians to a standard, and it should be a higher standard, right? I think judges and like you get into those positions, and yeah, you are going to be held to higher account because you're supposed to be. You're in this public office. And like, well, but they're not perfect. I didn't expect them to be perfect. I expected them to keep the covenants and contracts that they have signed up for, right? I don't feel like that's actually an unreasonable expectation. Like, don't cheat on your spouse. Like, if you don't want to be in that relationship and it's a bad relationship, end it. And I know that's easier said than done, but like, if you're unmarried, then you're more open to do different things because you haven't, contractually bound yourself to this other person. But man, I feel like Donald Trump gets a lot of things memory hold about himself. And it's like everybody's like, "Oh, he's a good businessman." I'm like, "Is he though?" Like, when you look at that track record, he's really not. He's really not been like he's rich and he's failed upward. He is like the quintessential Nepo baby. And I'm not trying to take away from him having good political instincts because, I mean, typically he's funny, like he had good timing, but he's just surrounded himself with people that only tell him, right, like how amazing he is, how smart he is, and like fan that ego. And it's messy. And we as everybody else are paying the entire world is paying the consequence for that jackwagon of a person being in the position he's in. We need a hero. We need a person to come in of high moral fiber with a backbone who like can make good decisions and reestablish like the rule of law, simplify and execute. A statesman that understands how to wield power and like doesn't just like on an ego, yeah, on an ego trip, just like I don't know, start a war because somebody lied to him about it. Come on. But Trump going after the Pope, wild choice. And listen, I've had my critiques of the Catholic Church. Like, there's been a lot of Christian infighting for many years, and I think I've had my critiques of the Catholic Church and the Catholics, but I think like there's been some things happening that I would say from what I've seen, or at least from the outward appearances, because I'm not Catholic, it appears like the last couple of popes have really been trying to make some changes for the better, and you know, ooh, we got somebody getting pulled over back there. But yeah, him posting himself as Christ and the Pope, and then saying the Pope was soft on. I'm like, that is a choice. And I guess I wasn't hopeful that like his many of his supporters would begin to turn on him for that because so many other crappy Republican leaders have been supported that really don't exemplify the beliefs they profess. They, you know, blind eye will, but like, and I think it's fascinating that so many are turning on him finally. Could it be a bit of the rats jumping off the ship before it goes under? I mean, there could be some of that. Lots of people realizing that this gravy train has put itself in a real bad spot. Can we talk about how over the last 5 years, Amazon went from selling like a bunch of like decent products to just being like Temu 2.0? Like, can we talk about how Temu is just like Chinese spyware trying to flood the market? That's like dumping cheap products below cost into the market, and they're awful. I was anti Temu long before I was anti TikTok. Hmm. Is this a police car? Like, what's going on here? Hmm. I hate passing on the right. It's a pet peeve of mine. Anyway, hopefully the world is we get some calm coming out here. I don't think I trust the this whole thing about the art of the deal. Like, I don't know. I would say that I don't find Trump's negotiating tactics all that convincing that he's a great negotiator. It seems like he just mostly like talks a lot of smack and then screws people over. But that's just my thoughts on it. Well, let's see. I guess we'll have to see what oil prices do today. Never thought I'd track those that closely. Hopefully, we can all have a good Tuesday. I'm gonna watch the sunrise here a little bit, but bright and early. Hopefully the audio quality is better on this. We'll see. See what today brings. Have a good one.